Alright, what up guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing down the Cool Grease line. But we're going to be continuing down the Charming Pomade line, which is their array of oil-based pomades. There's going to be two of them. We're going to be looking at the hydrophilic one today. So what I mean by that is an oil-based pomade that's somewhat water-soluble. Not water-based though. But before we go ahead and do the review, I want to give you guys a quick few updates. White is sold out completely. Never see that again. Highly successful campaign or collaboration with that. I signed my offer and accepted my co-term position, or rather my graduate student position at Stanford for mechanical engineering. So yay, that's done and dealt with. For you guys, Old Dudes and I, collaboration. We're working on it, formula set down. We're just working on the smell and the design and kind of working out the logistics of everything. And so expect that in like the March, April timeframe, but just keep an eye out. We'll give you more updates as they come. Also, Old Dudes has joined us on the blog for promotions and stuff, so there is a discount for Old Dudes. Go check it out on the blog, and you'll find it under the promotions tab. So we're getting the big name homebrewers now, which is a good thing, and I hope it really convinces you guys to support homebrewers. Anything else? I think that's it. Let's go ahead and move on to the review. So as I said before, today we'll be looking at Charming Pomade. There's also a Charming Pomade Classic, which is a straight oil-based pomade, but today we'll be looking at this one, which is, as I said before, the hydrophilic version. Let's go ahead and look at the jar. Here it is, Charming Pomade with the same umbrella company, which is Fine Cosmetics. You see a very retro American, like 60s, 50s, 70s type of like feel to the jar, like always. Cool Grease always embodies this type of feel. And you see it's still made in Japan, a few other like branding stuff, and on the back it's still fully in Japanese, you can't read anything. And this is the larger 210 gram jar. So typically there are smaller 100 or rather 90 gram jars from Cool Grease, but what I've shown you for the past like few weeks have been the larger 210 gram jar. Opening it up, you'll see right away it looks really familiar. So if you guys ever tried Tancho, which is another Japanese pomade, super classic, way before any of this stuff, and it actually looks really similar, and as you'll see later, it performs extremely similar as well. So let's go ahead and start using it. This pomade actually not only looks like Tancho, but it actually smells like it, performs like it, and is almost identical, probably just like a touch lighter than that product. So like smelling it, it honestly smells like a mix between baby powder and rosemary. So you have the same like kind of like powderiness, or like the, what's a good word for it? Whatever. The powderiness of like some like baby powder, yet you also get like a little like herbal hint of rosemary. And then scooping it out, it's super soft, super like a goop. Basically kind of like if you really watered down the Cool Grease Blue. And kind of what's unique about these two oil-based pomades I'm talking about, Tancho and this one right here, is that even though they're really greasy, like definitely on the greasy side, they're not just like straight up just like wait for your hair. Like you guys remember with Royal Crown, like when you guys ever use RC, like hairdressing, you really see that like it just weighs down your hair. You can't really get much out of it unless you really put some time and work into it. But with Tancho and this one, like you'll notice right away, even though it is really greasy, it has this strange, unique like stickiness to it that really adds some bounce as well later on. And you're also noticing the application. I mean, it's a light oil-based pomade, so it's so easy to apply, but you really notice like the grip you get out of it. Like if you guys use a hairdressing, your fingers just slide through your hair, super easy, super greasy. But when you apply this pomade, there is like a grippiness to it. It can be slightly discomforting, but it's not bad at all, as long as you're like aware of it. But it also shows that later on, at least you'll have some like grippiness, some hold to work with. Alright, so I've been taking small scoops. I'm going to take one more. Really try to get it underneath this time. Because with this pomade, it's actually pretty difficult. Because it's so light and sticky, it really jumps off your hand really quick. And so first thing it touches, it will jump off. And so it's really hard to get it like underneath, like where you actually need it. And we'll go ahead and see how we do with that. Alright, and like always, you can go ahead, come in with the comb, and hopefully use like combing it through will really help spread out the pomade. As you can see, everything comes through really easily, and there's like a lot of shine going on right now. And with that done, go ahead and start forming the part. So the main issue concern here is how well it's going to hold down my sides. So lately, like my sides haven't been going down as much as I like. And so I've had to come in with like a much stronger water-based pomade to do the job. But we'll see how well they do it. And that's actually pretty nice. So with this one, obviously I don't expect it to be held down super tight or anything, but what I want is just for everything to slick back and just be like a little aesthetic at least. And so what we do get is like a slight puffing, but not so much, but everything still slicks back real nice. Go ahead, repeat on the other side. And overall, like the scent's pretty weak right now, which is good because I actually don't really like the scent that much. And either way, it's kind of like diffusing into the air and kind of like diluting itself, so that's nice. The overall feel of it, like I do feel the greasiness of this product, but it's not really overbearing right now. It's not as bad as like Royal Crown. And with that said, go ahead, start forming the pomp itself. Alright, we'll go ahead and call that done, and let's go over the hair. So a lot of you guys will understand, or rather a lot of you more experienced pomade users will understand me when I say this, that like oil-based light pomades are really dependent on whether you're going to have a good day or a bad day. Like, they're not as predictable as a normal pomade, and luckily today, I guess I'm going to have a good day with it because I was able to form like a pretty nice pompadour with it, pretty nice shape and everything. And this isn't always going to be the case every day. It's just going to depend on whether like your hair happens to be in the right position and whether you're going to happen to make the right strokes with the comb to like get everything in this right spot. But yeah, so as you can see, sides are slicked back, not super tight. We don't expect that out of a lightweight oil-based pomade, but it's still brought back, kept pretty like in a good position and a good form. Part is made nice, sharp, and straight, and really well defined. The overall shine is pretty nice. Actually, not too crazy. Like Royal Crown hairdressing is absurd shine. Like that's just way too much. It's like literally you're gonna go on the side and you're gonna blind people with it. But this one, there's definitely shine. It's definitely above average and not what people today are used to. But it's still not too much at all. And the pomp itself has like a good shape, a good height. There's definitely like the balance that I was talking about before when I was styling it. And overall, like, I don't know if it's going to last the whole day. It's a lightweight oil-based pomade. We're going to have to restyle, but overall, it's pretty nice. And I hope that later on, as this one kind of settles in, it gets like a nice dryness that will help it like kind of with control, or help us with control on styling it later on. But by balance, what I mean is like, when you comb this thing, you will see like a bounce that happens afterwards, very slight, but like we don't see this with like really waxy heavyweight pomades, and that's what I typically mean by bounce. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go throughout my day now, and I'll come back later on, talk to you guys about the hair, and we'll go on from there. So I'm back now, end of the day, let's go over the hair. So I did lose a lot of hold and strength. Like, it definitely started sagging during the day, and there was actually no way to really get that pomp back. I mean, you can get styled like an average to like slightly below average height pomp, but that strength you lose throughout the whole day, you're not really going to get it back. And I mean, that's something we can expect or like kind of endure with a light hold pomade. The shine is still really strong. It's still a really slick product. Everything is still kind of where it's supposed to be, but any sort of like shaking, swaying, any sort of significant shaking or swaying will put the hair out of place. In the sun, it didn't melt as much as I expect, or rather what we are used to with a really waxy, oily pomade. Like, there definitely was a lot of shine. Like, people did notice and were like, what the heck, that's really shiny. But still, it's like, it didn't melt and come down onto the face, which is really nice. So endurance, not that good. I mean, but we expect that out of a light hold pomade. Restylability, there wasn't that improvement I was hoping for. It's just basically the same thing as styling in the beginning. Hardness, it didn't settle at all, obviously. Shine is still there. And rinsability, it actually washes out basically all of it. I mean, you will feel a slight oiliness that just feels like a more oily, like more healthy hairs, just simulating that feel. But for the most part, it does wash out. It's not like a super jelly water base where it washes out like immediately, but with a little bit of like effort, it does wash out completely. This is a hydrophilic product. That means to a large extent, it is water soluble. Really similar to Dax Super Neat, if you guys ever tried that pomade before. So overall, like, I would put this in the same category as Dax Super Neat, an oil-based pomade that is water soluble. Not like, oh, it's water based at all. Don't mistake it like that. It's actually just lightweight, really shiny, and would be awesome to mix in with a water based product of some type. Any sort of traditional like gel like based type of water product. So yeah, this has been a review of Charming Pomade. Next week we'll be looking at Charming Pomade Classic, a slightly stronger version of this one, but straight up oil based. So yeah, hope you guys got something out of this review. Other than that, take care and see you next week.